Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this video right here is going to be episode 2 of the video series where I tell you guys what my collection would be like if I was not a beauty guru or a YouTuber. I already did a drugstore version of this video, so I'll have that link down below if you're interested in seeing that. This right here in front of me is going to be my high-end collection. This was so difficult for me to choose things, but again, I feel like I'm very confident in everything that I picked, so I'm excited to show you guys what I feel like I would have in my collection if this wasn't my job or if I didn't get sent makeup or anything like that. I feel like these are the things that I would definitely use all the time and trust. I got this idea from Jamie Page. I will have her channel linked down below as well as her video. She did just one collection. I had to split it up into drugstore and high-end. I feel like it was easier that way, especially for you guys, because I know a lot of us don't just have like a collection of all drugstore or high-end. I feel like most of us have a good mix. So I wanted to make sure that I had recommendations for you guys in each category at each price point, if that makes sense. But let's just get right into the high-end version. I'm gonna start off with brows. Recently I've been loving so many brow products, but when it came down to it, I felt like I would definitely have to have my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I use the shade 4, and for brow gel, the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. These two have been in my makeup bag for so long, and they're just so reliable. I love how long it stays on my brows, and I love how long this brow gel holds my brow hairs in place. So really this is all I would need if I were to just have, you know, a pretty baseline collection. So that one was pretty easy. When it came to primers, I did have to pick two just because I kind of did this in my drugstore video as well. I wanted one that was kind of more for a corrective issue and then one that was a little bit glowy. So the one that I felt was perfect for every day or for almost like a treatment primer is this right here. This is from Bare Minerals. It's the Complexion Rescue Defense. It's the Radiant Protective Veil. I love this because it primes your skin really nicely for makeup. It does have a little bit of a glow to it, but I love how this protects my skin from blue light, and also it has sunscreen in it, so it protects my skin from the sun. There's an SPF 30 in here, and it is a mineral sunscreen, which is what I look for. I also love the packaging. This is just amazing for every single day, so this is what I would have chosen for more like basic everyday looks. If for some reason I was going out or I wanted a little bit more of a glow, I would definitely have to choose the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is amazing. I use the shade Light 2. This is what I have all over the skin underneath my makeup today, and it just makes my entire face look so glowy. I also chose this because if I wanted to, I could also use it as a liquid highlighter, so it kind of is a 2-in-1 in that way, and I feel like it's worth every single penny. It does have a little bit of coverage to it, but not too much, so if I ever had a really good makeup day, I could just apply this all over the skin and maybe do some touch-ups with concealer and call it a day. Yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I feel like because it is so versatile and I've been using it and it just never fails me. It is a beautiful product and I absolutely love it. For foundation, I have 3 different foundations in different categories. So I wanted to choose a tinted moisturizer, a liquid foundation that's a little more full coverage, and then a powder foundation. I genuinely do rotate through all 3 of those in my routine, and so I couldn't just pick one foundation across the board when it came to my high-end products, because there are some that I just have to have. So for a tinted moisturizer type product, which is great in the summertime, I can't live without this, so it just had to be in my collection. This is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. I use the shade Birch 1.5. I have used this for years. I can't imagine my makeup collection without it. It's just the best. You can use it underneath makeup if you want to, or you can also use it by itself if you want as well. It's extremely hydrating, which I love during the winter months especially, and there's an SPF in there as well, so it's going to be just really great for every day. These two together are amazing for every day, so I knew I couldn't live without those. For my more full coverage foundation, this was really difficult for me, but if I had to make the decision based off of what I'm reaching for right now, it would be this. So this is from Dose of Colors. It's the Meet Your Hue Foundation. I wear the shade 108 Light. This is the foundation that I'm wearing all over my face. It's kind of messy because I use it so much, but I love this. I think it's amazing, and I only need like 1 pump, and it gives me the best full coverage. It wears so well on my skin all day long. This is one of the only foundations that lasts all day without setting my entire face. So if there was ever a situation where I didn't want to, or maybe in the winter months when it's not too hot and my face doesn't get as oily, I would definitely reach for this and just powder the T-zone and I'd be good to go. This has definitely quickly become one of my very favorites, and so So as of now, that's what would be in my collection. For a powder foundation, which is something that I reach for on quick makeup days where I don't have any time to get ready, but I want to even out the skin tone, I can't not choose the Bare Minerals Original Foundation. I'm the shade Fairly Light 03 in this, and I can't imagine not having this as a foundation option for me, so that was also kind of a no-brainer. So those are my foundation or complexion products. Moving on to concealer, I did manage to just decide on one concealer. Of course, in my collection, I would definitely have 2 shades of the same formula because one I would like to use to brighten up the center of the face, and then I want one that's a little bit deeper for blemishes. And if I'm ever in between skin tones, it's also great to mix 2 shades. So this is the concealer that I chose. It's the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer. This is just such a beautiful concealer. I know I have so many favorites, and it was really hard to choose between all the concealers that I love and that I own. But if it really came down to it, I definitely would choose this because of the formula. I love that it's not too thick, it's not too thin. It gives you amazing coverage, but when you blend it out, it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I also find that underneath the eyes, I don't feel like it creases that much, and it lasts all day long. I love this so much, and I've gotten a lot of my friends and family hooked on this concealer, so it works on a lot of different people, as far as I know as of now, but I love this. So that's definitely the concealer that I would have to choose. Moving on to a setting powder. This was hard too. I'm probably going to say that about every category, but I decided on this right here. This is the Thrive Cosmetics Filtered Effects Soft Focus HD Setting Powder. I love this so much because it's a hydrating powder, so it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I also love the packaging on this. The tone of it is amazing, the texture is amazing. It sets makeup but also melts into the skin at the same time. This is the powder that I have all over my face today, and as you can see, it mattifies the areas that I put it, so I put it in the T-zone, and it does a really good job at that without like looking dusty or dry or anything like that. This is one of the best translucent powders out there, and I don't think I could live without it. All right, for bronzer, I actually chose a liquid bronzer and a powder bronzer. For the liquid bronzer, as of now, I feel like this is what would be in my collection. This is also from Bare Minerals. It's the Bare Pro Glow Bronzer, and I have the shade Faux Tan. I decided to wear this all over the skin, and then I layered on top of it the powder bronzer that I'm going to share with you in a second. But I have been absolutely loving this recently, especially when I want more of a fresh makeup day. I could see myself with this collection in front of me using these products for like an everyday kind of a look where I want light coverage and then just a little hint of bronze. It also has a little bit of a shimmer to it, so not sparkles in this one, but there is just a little bit of a shimmer, so it makes your skin look super healthy. I really love it, and I've been using it non-stop since, I guess it's only been a few months since I've been using it, but honestly, it's like one of my favorite liquid bronzers. For a powder bronzer, I'm happy with this decision, but looking through my bronzer collection, this was also difficult to choose, but I went with the Thrive Cosmetics Sun Chaser Blur and Sculpt Bronzing Powder. This is the bronzer that's most visible on my skin. I layered it on top of the Bare Minerals one. I chose this one because the formula is really amazing, and also I chose it because I felt like this shade could carry me through the winter all the way to summer. Somehow, even though I have very fair skin, this never ends up looking too muddy or dark on me. No matter what time of the year it is, even when I have like a fake tan, I can still make this bronzer work. It's one of my favorite bronzers ever. The formula, like I said, is amazing. I never find it to be splotchy, and it lasts all day as well. It just blends like by itself. It's such a good bronzer. Okay, moving on to blushes. This was also hard for me, but I'm happy with what I chose. So for an everyday blush, I definitely felt like the Bare Minerals Beige for Days blush would be my go-to. I love this because it looks like you're just naturally flush. There's not necessarily like a specific blush color, if that makes sense in this. It kind of comes off a little bit peachy. It looks pretty brown in the pan, but it does have that peach undertone once applied to the skin. So it gives your skin some life without being like, oh, she's wearing blush. Do you know what I mean? I love this so much. Couldn't live without it. So I knew that was going to be in here. But then when I was thinking of other blushes, I decided that I would probably, every single year, I would look out for the Hourglass Ambient powder collections. So around the holidays, Hourglass usually launches a face palette, and I feel like if I was not reviewing other blushes and things, I would definitely make sure to get my hands on the palettes every year. So I have this one. This one was from last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. Basically, I would choose something like this because it has blushes in here. There's also finishing powders and a highlighter. So this is what I chose for like the rest of my blushes, for finishing powder and for my highlighter. It's what I have on the skin today. I did use these two shades as a finishing powder really lightly. I use this as highlighter, and then I mix these two blush shades as my blush today. So a face palette for me is something that if I had a smaller collection, I just feel like I would get a lot of use out of something like that. So I chose that. Obviously the shades and stuff would probably change every single year. I love the one that they came out with this year. It's like the Ghost palette that was kind of clear, but I just grabbed this one to kind of show you as an example of what I feel like I would have. Okay, let's move on to eyes. Eyeshadow palettes was really hard. In my drugstore collection, I was able to confidently narrow it down to one eyeshadow palette. For this one, you guys, I'm so sorry, but I chose 3. So I'll explain to you why, and I'll kind of go in order of what I would choose so that, you know, if you're just maybe looking for one high-end palette to buy, I'll start with that one. We'll get into the palettes in a second. I guess I should probably share that I would definitely own this right here, this NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I use mine in the shade Light. This is amazing for all sorts of eyeshadow looks. You guys already know how much I love this. I've been using it non-stop for several months now, so I don't feel like I could picture myself doing eyeshadow anymore without that. Alright, so for eyeshadow palette, the first one that I definitely knew I was going to have in this collection is actually this right here from KKW Beauty. I've talked about this several times on my channel, and I will explain again why I love it so much. So obviously it's neutral tones, but the thing that makes this palette really unique are these 3 colors right here. I feel like it helps to kind of change the look a little bit without having a massive palette. So I feel like I could do a super everyday look using just this all over the eyes. I could do something a little bit more mauve using like this quadrant over here. I could also do something extremely smoky and kind of copper for evening. So this is a really great versatile palette. So this is definitely the first one that I knew I was going to choose. But then as I kept looking through my palettes, I was like, but what about the glitters and what about the fun colors and other textures? And so I just know I would have this. I just know I would have to have the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. This is so fun for when you want to have fun with makeup, you know? This is just the most beautiful, colorful yet wearable palette. I'm obsessed with it. It has amazing mauve tones in here, but also there's a couple blues, but there's also some really beautiful golds. This is actually the palette that I'm wearing on the eyes today. I love it. So I would definitely have this palette as well to play with. And then the third palette that I would definitely have to have is this one right here from Persona. It's the Identity palette. And I chose this one because I felt like in the fall, or if I was feeling like doing a little bit more of like a cool toned smoky eye, I would reach for this palette. And I love all the shimmers in here. There's amazing mattes. I feel like there's a couple shades in here that are similar to the ones in the KKW Beauty one, so that's why I would choose this last. But when I was trying to choose them all, I was debating whether or not I should put this in this video, and I just had to because I feel like the shimmers in here are very different from the ones in the KKW Beauty palette, so I do feel like it would be worth it, and most of the shades are not repeats. I could get a lot out of them. If you guys know me, you know that I love glitter on the eyes, so I definitely would say that I would have to have these Bodyography glitter pigments. Now I have 3 shades that I'm going to share with you. I would definitely have Sparkler first, which is the one that I have layered on top of the gold shade from that Huda palette, all over the eyes. Sparkler is a little bit of a champagne pink. This is the one that I get the most use out of. So if I were to just have to choose one, I would choose this, but I couldn't just have one, you know? I also love Stratus, which is much more of an actual like light pink champagne. This is gorgeous. These look amazing all over the lids with just like something through the crease for just a quick glam look. I love to just kind of pop it on the eyelids and have something else simple around. So there's that one, and then if I wanted something a little bit more silvery or cool toned, I would have to go with this right here called Halo. So those are definitely 3 that I feel like I would have to have in my eyeshadow collection or my glitter collection. Okay, so moving on to eyeliners. Actually, in my drugstore video, I only chose one eyeliner, and I told you guys that I don't really use eyeliner that much. When I thought about it a little bit longer though, I definitely feel like there are 3 eyeliners and then an eye brightener that I would have to have on hand for those rare occasions. I don't wear eyeliner that often, but when I do, these are the ones that I would use. So these are from Persona again. It's actually really interesting to see how many similar brands there are in each category. Like I chose a lot of Bare Minerals and a lot of Persona. I genuinely would choose these, so it was kind of interesting for me to see the patterns in what I chose. But Persona Cosmetics has two eyeliners that I definitely would choose. One is brown and one is plum. I love these so much. The formula is really great. It's gonna last all day. I'm not always a huge fan of like black eyeliner, but I definitely could get away with a brown or a plum. I actually am wearing the plum on my eyes today, and then I smudged it out with the deep purple shade in the Huda palette. So I love those, and also if I did decide to do something a little bit more smoky with the KKW Beauty palette or the Persona palette, I could always put this in the waterline and it would just kind of add a little bit more definition. The other eyeliner that I love, and it's just a little bit unique, but I couldn't live without it, is this one right here from Thrive Cosmetics. This is their Infinity Waterproof Eyeliner. But it's in the shade Lizzie, which is actually this beautiful olive green. I know it's kind of like a random shade, but I love to wear this in the waterline when I'm doing like a brown smoky eye. It just is a really beautiful way to add that definition into the waterline, but it doesn't look too harsh. And it's kind of a little detail that when people look at your eyes up close, it just, I don't know, it just adds something different. I feel like I couldn't live without this, so I threw it in there too. And then what I have in my waterline today is this right here. It's the Benefit Highbrow Pencil. I figured I would add this in here because I love to use it in the waterline, and then I could also highlight the brow if I ever wanted to. So those are the 4 eyeliners that I felt like I could use. Moving right along. So for mascara, oh, I'm such a mascara junkie, so this was a little bit hard, but I am confident in this pick. I just chose one. Now listen, if you want to see my other favorite mascaras that I feel like are worth every penny, I will have that video down below. I'm just trying to really, you know, be serious about this challenge here in this video, but I do like multiple mascaras, so I'll have that video down below if you want to see it. But I would choose the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara. This is my first go-to for both everyday and also for glam looks. I'm wearing it all over the lashes today. I feel like I'm able to build it up really well, and I love how it never smudges or never flakes on me. This has been one of my favorite mascaras for years now, so yeah, I just couldn't imagine my life without this mascara, so I knew that was definitely my top pick. Okay, we're gonna move on to lips. I actually have 3 lip liners that I wanted to share with you. 2 of them are from KKW Beauty. These are actually like my favorite lip liners. You can see how much I love them, especially this one. So I chose the shade Nude 1, which is actually the color that I have all over the lips right now. I'll swatch these so you can see the difference. So here's Nude 1. I'm obsessed with the formula of these and I love the color. And then the other one that I get so much use out of is Nude 0.5. This one's a little bit lighter and a little bit more pinky peach. There's 0.5 right there. And then I could not put this in my collection. The Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip Liner. It's just classic, and I feel like this is right in the middle. It's a little bit more rosy and it's deeper than the 0.5. I feel like it's somewhere in the middle of those 2 shades, and it has a little bit more of like a mauve undertone. So there's that one right there. These are definitely the 3 nude lip liners that I would have to have. Absolutely, for sure. So for lipstick, this was also difficult, but I had to put in the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick as well. I'll go ahead and swatch that. And this is what I'm wearing all over the lips right now. I definitely was looking for something a little more beige because this is definitely pink, but I couldn't think of one beige lipstick that like ruled over all the others. So instead I felt like I could just use this all over the lips and then use that as like an actual beigey lipstick. So I've got that, and then I wanted to add a couple of colorful lip colors. I didn't do this in my drugstore one because I couldn't think of like a certain colorful liquid lipstick that I couldn't live without, but I can't live without these. These are also from Persona Cosmetics. I have the shade Flamingo. It's a matte liquid lipstick. I feel like I would at least need a couple liquid lipsticks between my drugstore and high-end collection. So this one, again, it's called Flamingo. It's a fabulous bright pink. I love it. And then for summer, or even going into winter, this is just one of the best reds. It's a little bit more of an orangey red. It's called Phoenix, and it's the same liquid lipstick formula. It's just so good. And I feel like I would have to have at least one red in my collection, you know? So there's that one right there, swatched. So those are my 3 like lipsticks that I feel like I would have. And then for more of an everyday all over color. I love this so much. I cannot not use this or have this. This is the Bobbi Brown Crushed Oil Infused Gloss, and I have the shade New Romantic. That's probably my favorite shade, so I just chose one. And I will swatch this here. This is like just the perfect everyday gloss. I love to wear this by itself or you can layer it on top of things, which is why I chose it. So I wanted like an everyday gloss, and then I wanted something a little bit more sparkly for evening, and I chose this right here from Patrick Ta. This is amazing. I love it. It's the Major Glow Lip Shine in the shade She's an Influencer, and I'm wearing this gloss all over the lips today. I'll swatch that one next to it so you can kind of see the difference. So yeah, I just wanted like a couple different finishes. So there it is right there. I don't know if you can really see the glitter on here, but just know there's like little glittery reflex in it, which is so beautiful. I'm pretty proud of myself for this situation here because out of all the lipsticks that I have, it was hard to narrow it down, but as of now, I feel like I could definitely create so many looks with all of these products. So I'm happy with the ones that I chose. Let's be honest though, before I was a beauty guru or whatever, I spent all my money on makeup. So technically, I bet you my collection would be larger than this, but I feel like this is a really solid lip collection regardless. Okay, last but not least, we have some setting sprays, and I chose a dewy setting spray and a mattifying setting spray. In my drugstore one, I found one that I felt like was right in the middle. I couldn't do that with this because I can't live without either of these. So the more dewy one is the Farsali Rose Gold Skin Mist. This is my second bottle of this and I absolutely love it. I'm wearing this all over the face today and I love it because it just makes the skin look so dewy but never greasy. I don't know what's in this to make it do that, but I love it and I need something that's going to be hydrating and dewy for the winter months especially. But then, I mean, I could not picture my makeup bag without this right here. So this is the last thing that I would definitely have. It's the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This will make my makeup last all night, hence the title. I seriously love it so much and I could not live without it. Okay, I think that's everything. I have had so much fun filming this video and then also the drugstore version of this video. It's super challenging for me, but I think it's really interesting for even me to figure out what my collection would look like. Let me know if you guys like these videos because I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to do a similar video with skincare? Do you know what I mean? Like if I wasn't sent skincare to try or if I didn't have to review things, I really wonder what exactly I would choose in my skincare routine because I wouldn't have multiple moisturizers like I do. I would just choose like one moisturizer, one cleanser, maybe a couple cleansers. Do you know what I mean though? Would that be interesting to you guys? Let me know if it would be. I seriously had so much fun filming this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are. Stay safe and stay healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.